Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope that everyone out there is doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you're all remembering to save money and to invest. It's very important, like it actually completely is, especially with the world economic system as it currently is right now. Don't forget to follow me on the media that is social. There are links in the description beneath the video you are currently watching. Very big thank you to everyone who leaves a like on the video as well. It is very much appreciated. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. As we continue on this train, boat, something within the cryptocurrency space, we continue to hear all the time, and I say this in the nicest way possible. It appears that more and more institutions and companies and banks are apparently bending the knee, if you will. We've heard from a lot in 2025, and I assume it's been the rules and regulations and the BlackRock and the money. We've heard from a lot of institutions and corporations this year who years ago shunned, completely pushed the cryptocurrency market to the side and called it ridiculous or nonsensical or nobody would want that, all announcing that they're now offering ETFs, ETPs for Bitcoin. They're offering it to their wealthiest clients. In 2026, they're going to be offering Bitcoin trading, buying, selling, custodying solutions, all seemingly out of nowhere. I was actually a little bit shocked because this news was far more popular than I was even remotely expecting. I feel like I'm just maybe not in the loop or something, but people loved this news. Yeah, joining the list amongst many institutions who for some reason absolutely hated crypto before. Now we're seeing a gigantic shift into people talking about just how wonderful it is and how apparently Bitcoin's going to save the economy. Scandinavia's largest bank, they're called Nordea, or Nordea, I'm going to say Nordea, has apparently shifted their stance on crypto in the face of growing adoption and regulatory clarity, announcing its customers can access an external Bitcoin-linked exchange-traded product, or an ETP, sometime in December. What? That's crazy. That's never been a thing before. I think the other bigger institution that we heard from before was Vanguard. As far as billions and trillions of dollars in assets, we've heard from a number of smaller banks and companies recently, as of late as well, who were like, yeah, we didn't like Bitcoin at first, but we can totally see that it's going to make a lot of money. And basically this year announcing how amazing it is and that they're going to be offering it to their clients. So now the largest bank in Scandinavia is going to be doing the exact same thing. The Bitcoin exchange traded product, developed by digital asset investment firm CoinShares, holds Bitcoin as its underlying asset, the bank said on Thursday. The exchange-traded product will only be offered as an execution-only offering, meaning that customers can buy this product, but Nordea does not offer advice on it, end quote. Yeah, this is also something that they're trying to... You know how a lot of times a company or an institution will announce that they're getting into something and they have that thing where they go, we are the world's leading #1 brand for this thing. We believe in helping our customers because the customer's always first. We will do our best and be regulated as we should. And it's why are you just saying things that you just kind of had to say? I didn't expect you to go, well, I mean, our company's kind of garbage, but if you want to use us, I mean, go for it. We might lose your money, but good luck, buddy. That. So a lot of these banks and these companies, they're now offering Bitcoin in some form or fashion, many of them in a securitized manner through an ETF or an ETP. But they're all like kind of just only offering it and not offering any advice or other services for it, just in case, so that they can say, well, I told you so. Like we didn't tell you to buy that. You did it yourself. And it's like, you guys, like, just stop being weird and just like offer information on it, because, if not, I don't know if they know, but other companies exist. I know, weird, right? Other banks exist who will like sit you down and like, let you know what you're buying, what you're getting into, what type of an investment that this is. Just simply not offering advice on it is like, okay, all right. Nordea has over $286 billion in assets under management, according to its half-year results released in July, along with an estimated customer base of around 10 million people. In 2018, Nordea announced it was banning its employees. Oh gosh, they're one of these places. Nordea announced it was banning its employees from buying and holding Bitcoin over concerns the crypto market was unregulated. Stop the nonsense. That's the same exact garbage. Okay, this lets me know exactly what kind of bank this is. This is exactly what JP Morgan did. If you weren't here years ago, everyone was opening up. This is 2017, 2018. Everyone was opening up to the idea of crypto. We weren't talking about integrating it into the very fabric of society, but people realized that something was going on. This thing hit $20,000 a coin. Where else can it go? Let's start learning about it. Many other banks were like, cool, we're blah, 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 blah. JP Morgan then pops up and goes, blockchain, not Bitcoin. And people went, oh, snaps, as if we were supposed to have listened to this dirty, ridiculous bank. Basically trying to get people to stay away from Bitcoin, but using blockchain instead. And the people were like, well, Bitcoin is blockchain. And then JP Morgan created their own chain and coin called JP Morgan coin. It's a real thing, which they thought incorrectly that every bank and institution around the world was going to literally fall over themselves to use. Did not happen. The other part is that JP Morgan and its associates all announced that if any employee, anyone working at JP Morgan Chase & Co. owned Bitcoin, traded Bitcoin, held Bitcoin, or even sneezed loudly enough and said Bitcoin, they would be fired. Like, what are you talking about? You'd let people have these terrible securities, these mortgages that are backed by nothing. You'd have people buy other garbage investments, but like the one thing you think you have the right to fire people and ban people. Like, stop this is not, we are not in the year 1922 anymore. The fact that so many things like this happen, like, it's ridiculous. Like, I understand, you can't take certain items into your job. You're banning your employees from buying and holding an asset because you don't like it. Okay. And it has stated in subsequent earnings reports that it has no risk appetite or direct exposure to virtual currencies. Well, that's kind of terrible. Imagine if they had bought Bitcoin when it fell down to $2,000. It's not really a flex when you're talking about we don't have any crypto and you could have 50, 60, 70x'd your money. The change of heart has resulted directly from growing regulations in marking maturity, the bank said, citing the European Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation MiCA as a specific example. Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad you guys finally got there. It only took, 74 years, but I'm glad you got there. This was, for whatever reason, extremely popular news. I don't live in the Nordics, so I can't exactly tell you why. We've had multiple other banks who've announced that they're going to be offering these things for their clients. So it's kind of weird that the bank that we don't hear about at all made it into popular news for. I haven't really understood it. Not even joking. We have so many other, and I mean, dare I say, larger institutions who have like 4 trillion in assets under management who are like, yeah, we were wrong in 2017. Everyone can do whatever they want now. That didn't make popular news, but for some reason, Nordea did. So, cool. That's the largest bank in Scandinavia is slowly tiptoeing into the cryptocurrency space. Who the fudge knows anymore? That's that news. Okay. Let's move on. So being 1,000% honest here, I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this, but this also made kind of popular news. A century-old U.S. retail corporation, they're called Bealls, Bealls, B-E-A-L-L-S. It sounds like a name, but it also sounds like the be-all of something. So Bealls is apparently starting to accept crypto payments through a partnership with Flexa across 660 stores in 22 different states. Yeah, one of the other things, and it didn't really happen, one of the other things years ago that a number of companies and corporations assumed in 2018, 2019 would happen almost overnight is that we would be falling over ourselves to do anything that we could to be able to apparently, sell and use our crypto. It was a very big thing. So we had Flexa, we had Spedin. What's the other thing? There were like 8 companies that all launched the exact same time. That kind of faded, if you will, with the advent of like crypto Visa cards, basically. One of the ideas was that we'd be able to use our phone or our Apple Watches or even fingerprints and hand scans. People have this now. And we'd be able to, have our crypto wallet there and we'd be able to pay all the time. That was a big topic if you missed it years ago when everyone was like, when will we be able to buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin? And why they're trying to change the law now in the United States that says like under a certain amount, there's no like taxation happening on the actual crypto. It comes down to like, well, people thought back then. These people told us when Bitcoin was at $4,000 that Bitcoin's going to $11 million. And then they just assumed that everyone would be like, oh my gosh, a 9,000x. Well, let me go buy some socks. I want some new shoes. It just didn't take off. People use Bitcoin as a speculative asset similar to many other things you buy and you hold. So years ago, it was a really big thing announcing that your company was going to be accepting crypto as a form of payment in some sort of way. We don't really hear that news anymore, just for the simple fact that no one really wants to be the pizza guy. So this made popular news, and I assume it's because I don't know be-alls, but cool. The point of sale integration represents one of the largest planned deployments of in-store crypto payment acceptance so far. Matt Beall, it is a name. Okay, Matt Beall, chairman and CEO of Bealls, said that cryptocurrencies will reshape how the world transacts. Furthermore, and these numbers, listen, grain of salt. Furthermore, it says around 65 million. I don't know if that's correct. 65 million American adults, which roughly makes around 25%, also doesn't make any sense, own cryptocurrencies as of early 2025, the company release added. Bealls joins several retailers and firms worldwide in accepting crypto payments. For instance, Shopify announced in June that its merchants can now accept the Circle stablecoin payments directly through Shopify Payments. Recently, Opendoor, one of the largest U.S. real estate firms, confirmed plans to accept Bitcoin and crypto for home purchases. But that's also, what's the word? These companies sometimes, often do it because they want people to give up their crypto. If you realize or understand or think that Bitcoin is probably going to 10, 15x in price, that's the belief. How many times have we heard it? Bitcoin's going to 3 million. Bitcoin's going to 7 million. You as a company will be more than willing to sell a home for $500,000. That would probably do a 10 to 15x over the course of a 2 to 3 year period. So one of the old mantras in the crypto space was stop selling your Bitcoin, stop selling your crypto. Stop selling it to these companies who want it because they know that it's going to go up in value. And that morphed into don't sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock. You've seen that one in 2023, 2024, which was a really weird thing. A lot of people just kind of, okay. So yeah, cool. If you can tell me what Bealls does, what they sell, I couldn't tell you if I've never heard of it. Never heard of this before, but this also made very popular news. So I assume this is a rather large chain. Yeah, I don't personally think that 65 million American adults own crypto. I assume it's around like 20 million. And I mean like actively owning it. They might mean like indirect exposure. If we had 65, and I mean it this way, 65 million people in the States would entail that across North and South America, we'd have around a good 200 million people. I feel like 200 million, no, it doesn't feel correct as far as like the actual number, because we'd have much higher prices with more people paying attention to the market at all times. Even then, with like a 20 million American adults, I assume that number also gets quite skewed to people who have, in general, been in the crypto market. So a lot of people got into crypto in 2016, 2017. They have dust on a wallet and it's just sitting there. And that technically would, they own crypto, if you will. But actively in the market, I assume it's around 20 million Americans. Somewhere around there. Anywho, yeah, I hope everyone's been doing great. That's going to do it for this video. I do sincerely hope that you've all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.